Elena Rivers was the kind of woman who built her life with precision. She was a rising corporate lawyer, known for her brilliance and relentless determination. Every move she made, every case she won, was a brick in the empire she was creating for herself. But behind her strength stood one person she trusted blindly, her fiancé, Daniel. Daniel wasn't just her partner in life, he was her anchor. At least, that's what she believed. They had been together for 5 years, weathering storms and celebrating triumphs side by side. Elena often told her friends, "Daniel is the only person I can fall apart with and still feel whole." But even the strongest beliefs shatter when faced with betrayal. One rainy Tuesday evening, Elena stayed late at the office, preparing for a crucial court appearance. She returned home, expecting to find Daniel asleep. Instead, she found him very much awake, wrapped in the arms of her closest friend, Claire. The scene burned itself into her memory, Claire's laughter echoing through the apartment, Daniel's guilty face turning pale when he saw her. Elena stood frozen at the door, drenched in rain, her heart breaking into pieces she wasn't sure she could ever gather again. For weeks, she tried to move on. She threw herself into work, burying the pain under piles of legal documents and sleepless nights. But the betrayal was a wound that refused to heal. It wasn't just about Daniel or Claire, it was about the trust she had given so freely, only to have it shattered without mercy. And then, one morning as she stared at her reflection in the mirror, a chilling clarity washed over her. If betrayal was a poison, revenge would be her antidote. Elena's plan didn't form overnight. It unfolded slowly, calculated like the cases she fought in court. She knew Daniel's weaknesses better than anyone, his greed, his ambition, his constant need for validation. And Claire, she thrived on envy, always wanting what Elena had. Step 1 was simple: distance. Elena cut off all contact, pretending to disappear from their lives. Daniel assumed she was broken, licking her wounds in silence. Claire gloated, thinking she had won. They didn't realize Elena was watching, waiting, and preparing. Step 2 was infiltration. Through a trusted colleague, Elena discovered Daniel's latest business venture, a startup funded by questionable investors. She quietly gathered evidence of his fraudulent dealings, carefully piecing together documents, emails, and financial records. With every file she collected, her resolve hardened. Step 3 was the strike. At a high-profile charity gala, Daniel and Claire appeared as a power couple, basking in attention. Elena arrived unannounced, dressed in a crimson gown that turned every head in the room. She walked with the calm confidence of a queen reclaiming her throne. "Daniel," she said sweetly, her voice dripping with venom he barely recognized. "Claire." Their smiles faltered, but before they could respond, Elena handed a neatly bound folder to the press who swarmed the event. Inside were the documents exposing Daniel's fraud, evidence that would destroy his career, his reputation, and his future. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, and chaos erupted. Daniel's face turned ashen while Claire stood frozen, realizing too late that the empire she thought she had stolen was crumbling in front of her. Elena didn't stay to watch the destruction. She left the gala with her head held high, the echo of Daniel's desperate voice calling her name trailing behind her. But revenge wasn't just about exposure. Elena wanted them to feel what she had felt: emptiness, loss, and the slow suffocation of betrayal. Over the following months, Daniel's company collapsed under investigations. His investors abandoned him, lawsuits piled up, and his so-called friends vanished. Claire, stripped of her social standing, was left clinging to the ruins of a man who could no longer provide the lifestyle she craved. Elena, meanwhile, thrived. She took on new cases, won major victories, and earned the respect of those who once doubted her. But more importantly, she learned to live for herself, not for love, not for validation, but for the power of her own strength. One evening, as she sat on her apartment balcony overlooking the city lights, her phone buzzed. A message from Daniel appeared on the screen. "Can we talk? I made a mistake. I miss you." Elena smiled faintly, a smile not of longing but of closure. She typed back a single sentence. "You taught me one thing, Daniel: betrayal demands retribution." Then she blocked his number, setting her phone aside. The night air felt lighter, her chest freer. Revenge hadn't just destroyed her enemies, it had rebuilt herself, stronger than ever. For Elena Rivers, betrayal had once been her downfall. But now, it was the fire that forged her into something untouchable.